Okay, so finding nice profitable keywords for your homepage. So a little bit what I'm looking for in the homepage keywords is a little bit different than what I'm looking for in the inner page content keywords. So just to show you the difference here, here's the a website, a homepage of a website, and uh, as you can see up here in the meta title, what keywords we're optimizing this homepage for, we're going to be sticking up here in the meta title, so it'll show up here. And the meta title up here is basically what it is when you search a website, this is the meta title that shows up here. Okay. So in our case, with this site, this particular site, if we can find our site here, right here, TomTom versus Garmin. So the reason we're actually ranking for this particular keyword phrase is because we have that variation here in our keyword in our meta title. Okay. Also, we have it in our description. This also helps too. It's good to have it in our title and within the first 156 characters of our description as well. This tells Google this guy this is a good place to actually, since it's showing up in the title, this phrase, and it's showing up in the description, Google sees that and says, okay, well, let's go ahead and stick that guy let's go ahead and rank him for that particular keyword phrase because it's obvious that that's kind of, what his article is about, basically. So again, this is the best, as far as optimizing your content goes. I'll run through this a little more in the content management section, into a little more detail, but this is the best place you're going to want these keyword phrases if you're going to want to rank for this, is within the title and within the first 156 characters. It used to be back in the day, we used to get a little carried away and we would basically keyword stuff our content full of this phrase, and we would use it, way too much throughout all the content. This was kind of an optimization technique. The whole idea is the more we use the keyword phrase in our content, the more Google's going to give us priority for that keyword phrase. But these days, it's not. We just can't do it like that. Google will see something like that and they'll say this is definitely spam. We don't want it. So I always recommend just using it in these two places, and maybe a little more depending on the length of your article. You can use it maybe a couple more times throughout the rest of your article. But I usually just say just write naturally from here on down, and don't even worry about search engines. Okay, so back to the homepage keywords. Got a little off track there. So back to the homepage keywords. It's the same thing. We're looking at some keyword phrases for the meta title and the description for the homepage. And the only difference basically is I'm looking for a little bit higher volume search keyword phrases. Usually the magic number I like to look for is about 3K, 3,000 monthly searches for a keyword phrase. And sometimes I'll even go as far as optimizing it for 2 keyword phrases. But 1 is fine. If you could just find 1 good keyword phrase at about at least about 3,000 monthly searches, that's a good number. Okay, so I usually just jump in here to Longtail Pro, and first thing you can do is just jump up this number a bit here. This is local searches. Let's go to 3,000. Okay, so let's look for things that are around 3,000. We can even say about 1,500 to 3,000. And of course, you can go higher than this if you want to. You know, I've been ranked. I've been had clients ranking keywords. We've targeted keyword phrases that were up into close to the 10,000 range, and that's fine too. You can do that, but just realize that the higher number you get there, it's going to be chances are it's going to be higher competition. So you're going to have to, if you're looking to rank a keyword phrase that has close to 10,000 monthly searches, chances are you're going to have to do quite a bit of backlinking to get quite a few backlinks there to actually get on page 1. So 3K I find is a good number to still have a good amount of searches, yet at the same time able to find kind of low competition keywords where you're not going to have to put too much, SEO work into getting onto page one. Competition is not going to be too bad, all depending on the keyword phrase. So for the juicing site here, what I would probably normally do is target more of a product base, since we're looking more at an Amazon type site. Not Amazon site. I don't really call them Amazon sites. I usually just say they're niche websites that are Amazon friendly. I like to say it that way because uh, the main thing I like to look at first is just having a website that provides helpful information basically, and then instead of saying something like Amazon site, that's more like, okay, well, I have this this website that I'm just looking to make money off of. So okay, let's look at juicer reviews. Uh, so I like to look for usually product-based keywords for the homepage at about 3,000. We could say here, okay, so best juicer 2015. This is another variation that tends to do very well, especially, even with the date at the end. It even gives it even less competition. Usually if you add the date variations, you get less competition and still pretty high search volume there. So 1900, that's a good number. I would go for that. So of course I would just take this best juicer 2015. I'd like to see, here's where we can kind of open it up a little bit and check out the top 10 sites on Google and just check out some of the stats here. I'm going to look a little closer at these things here for these higher search volume keywords. And then, of course, we're going to want to look at the page titles. Best Juicer 2015, this is our keyword phrase. We want to check out all the page titles and see who's specifically targeting this phrase. Best Juicers 2015, this site here is obviously onto this. Okay, so again, the higher numbers we get here, people are going to start looking, so people are going to start noticing. And when they start noticing, they start actually specifically targeting these phrases in their website. And when that happens, you've got competition. Okay, that's not likely going to happen with a really low search volume keyword phrase that's like 500 or less. People aren't really paying too many, a lot of people aren't really using that strategy yet. So people aren't really paying attention to those. Because of that, you're not going to see them in the titles. But these other bigger ones, people are going to start noticing. So as you can see, this site here is targeting that phrase. Best juicers for 2015. This YouTube, it's a YouTube video, but they guarantee they know about the phrase, they're targeting it. This is always a sign when you see a YouTube video. I wouldn't underestimate the power of a YouTube video, but it's a good sign that if they can rank a YouTube video here on page one, you can definitely get on page one. Okay, so what I see from here is that there's not a bunch of them that have the exact phrase in it. Like this one here, doesn't have this exact phrase in the title. We got fairly low page authority, very low juice links. So that says that I could easily outrank this site. If I were to write a nice article with targeting this exact keyword phrase, had it in my title, had it in my description, nicely optimized there. If I had some juice links, more juice links than this guy, maybe I had 50 juice links, then after a little bit of time, despite this guy's site's age and all that sort of stuff, after a little bit of time, I could probably very easily outrank this guy. So this is a good sign that you can jump on page one for this, but you're not going to get on page one without doing backlinking. Again, that's the thing about these higher search volume keyword phrases. You're going to have to do some backlinking. So when we get to the higher search volume, definitely start looking at page authority. We want very low numbers here. Like 13, I mean that's exactly where you want to be. Nice sweet spot. You can see this guy only has page authority 13, no backlinks, and he's still ranking on page 1 for this, which tells me he's probably got a pretty dang good article, or I mean he's basically here because he's related to it somehow, and he's got all the words in his title. But you could easily outrank this guy pretty easily, I would say. So that's mainly what I look for the homepage keywords. This is kind of what I like to gauge and take a closer look at. And this tells me that if I were planning on doing a bit of backlinking, then this is a keyword phrase I would rank it for. Even if I wasn't doing backlinking, I would still pop this into my homepage keyword, my homepage, because using our strategy, the strategy we're using is we're targeting the inner pages, the long tail. We're developing good quality content for our inner pages and targeting the long tail keywords, right? After a while, we're going to start seeing all this organic traffic coming into our articles off our long tail keywords, right? And if our content is good enough, people are going to read this content, they're going to want to share it with people. When they share it with people, their social circles, through social media, we're going to start getting free backlinks. We're going to get backlinks from these people who are sharing our content. This is called earning your backlinks. And we're not going to have to do a single thing. And when that happens, when we're getting backlinks off our viewers who are sharing our stuff, then our whole site benefits. Not just that inner page that's getting the links, but our whole site will benefit from that juice. When that happens, your home page is going to be able to start ranking higher for your chosen keywords for their homepage. Even if the homepage keywords are higher in competition, it's still gonna you have a chance of actually getting on page 1 without having to pay for backlinks. That's one strategy. It's a little longer. That strategy is a little longer because you're basically having to wait until your inner pages are starting to get established. But you may as well. This is why I say you may as well rank or optimize your homepage for some keywords or for some bigger keywords, because eventually, once you start getting your inner pages start getting shared, start developing links, your whole site's going to start benefiting, and you're going to start even ranking naturally for your homepage keywords without you having to pay for backlinks. Okay, so these are the type of keyword phrases I like to look for. Again, this is a good variation here, and another variation I like to look for are the review variations. So let's jump out of here and let's do this. So review variation is what we're looking for. I'm surprised we're not seeing more here. But we can let's jump over to another. This is some other keyword research I was doing earlier. See if we can find another example here. Anyway, okay, so I want to do another search, but the search is going to take a long time to come up with stuff. So I'll just show you here. Another variation I normally like to look for are the review variations. So we have the best variation, as you saw there, the best juicer 2015, and also the review variation would be something like juicer reviews 2015. Okay, this would be another variation. That's probably why it wasn't showing up, is because I didn't have the plural version in there. But Juicer Reviews 2015, this would be another homepage type of keyword variation that would, it's more than likely going to have about the same amount of searches as our best Juicer 2015 variation. So in the title here, I would try to fit maybe both of those keyword phrases. Okay, I would have maybe uh, juicer reviews for 2015 plus the best juicers for 2015 or something like that. But you want to make the title look a little bit, you don't want to look like you're just stuffing keywords in there. So try to make it sound as natural as possible. This is sometimes why I only use one keyword phrase, because if you use two, chances are you're going to have to make the title sound a little bit off, a little bit unnatural. So if one or two keywords, one makes for a better, more natural title, but it's really up to you. So that's it. That's what I like to look for home page keywords, and then I wouldn't even worry about like integrating those keywords into your content on the home page. It used to be we used to take those keyword phrases and really stuff our home page with those keyword phrases, and a lot of that's basically, these days it's called over optimization, but back in the day it used to be acceptable. These days I don't even worry about it. I just focus on the title and the description of the home page, and beyond that I'm not concerned about how many times that keyword phrase is used on the home page, because again, my main focus now is the inner page articles.